The most important conversation that you'll ever have in your entire life is the one that you have with yourself. And if you're constantly beating yourself up with your own words, then you're doing yourself a huge disservice. If you become mindful of how you talk to yourself when you're alone with yourself, you would not want to be your own friend. No one would want to be their own friend by them talking down to themselves like the way you do. What I've discovered in my personal journey is that many times people who talk down to themselves, it's because of how they were raised. They may have had an adult talk down to them, and unconsciously as they grew older, they adopted that way that the person was talking to down to them. They unconsciously adopt that behavior, And because of this, that's how a lot of generational curses begin and stay going on until someone actually does become mindful of it and take the initiative to break it themselves. Someone may have talked down to you while you were growing up, telling you you'll never be good for anything, telling you that you're stupid, telling you that you're ugly, telling you that you're this, telling you that you're that, telling you a whole bunch of lies. But for so long you didn't realize it was lies because you were unconsciously conditioned and convinced that it was true, but it's not. Someone else's words, negative words towards you, does not have to become your truth. The conversation that you have with yourself is so important. It's so important because it reflects how you see yourself. It reflects on whether or not you love yourself. And if you have negative self-talk, many times if people who talk down to themselves have negative self-talk, have a negative inner dialogue, they're addicted to drugs and alcohol. They're addicted to drugs and alcohol because, in a sense, they feel as though that they are not good enough. They're not smart enough. They're not attractive enough. They're not enough. So therefore, they are deserving of feeling down. They are deserving of torturing themselves, so to speak, with alcohol and drugs. And the power of your words is so powerful. Your words truly have power. Think about it. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. God created life by using the power of the Word. By using the power of the Word. Can you fathom that? How powerful the Word is. And if you are using your words, your own words, to whoop your own ass, then you're torturing yourself. You're taking yourself through a whole lot of unnecessary suffering. Your words set the direction that you want your life to go in. And if you're not using your own words to build yourself up, then you're using your own words to tear yourself down. And you should not do that. Look, There's a whole lot of other people in this world that will come against you. The last thing you need to do is to be against yourself. So stop working against yourself and start working on yourself. You owe it to yourself to get into solitude and spend some alone time with yourself. Get to know yourself and learn to love yourself. Become your own best friend. Become your biggest encourager. Become the hero in the story of your life. You have to realize that you are going to be with you for the rest of your life. Other people will come in and go out of your life, but you will be with you for the rest of your life. So you owe it to yourself to learn how to talk to yourself in a way that's going to inspire yourself, in a way that's going to encourage you to step outside of your comfort zone. I've never shared this with anyone, but I've shared the fact that I never played sports in high school, in spite of the fact of knowing that I was a natural athlete. I never played sports in high school, but what I have never shared is the fact that I came close to going to go talk to the coach and see about trying out for basketball. But I didn't. I walked to the coach's office, and I was right in front of his office door. I looked inside of his little office window and saw that he was in his office at his desk talking on the phone to someone. And I was like thinking to myself, okay, now's the time, Keith. Now's the time. Knock on the door and walk in and ask him. I know it was on the phone, but still, I was so nervous, so worked up. That would have been a time, in spite of him being on the phone, because I really needed to get those initial words out to let him know that I was there. I was interested in trying out for a basketball team, but I didn't knock. I quickly looked in there, saw he was in there in his office on the phone, and just as quick as I got to the front of his office door, I walked away from it. I walked away from it because at that brief moment, I convinced myself by talking to myself that you ain't gonna make the team, Key. So just don't even bother. Don't even bother. I convinced myself that there's no need to knock on the coach's office door to see about trying out for basketball, because I told myself that you're not going to make it. You're not good enough. So don't even bother. And now that is a regret that I have to live with. But that's also a regret that I learned from. And because of I learned from this regret, it has inspired me to never hold myself back by the words that I am speaking to myself. It has inspired me to be courageous and step outside of my comfort zone. It has inspired me to become my biggest encourager and own best friend. The most important conversation you'll ever have in your life is the one that you have with yourself. And if you are tearing yourself down with your words, you are not living. You're simply existing in suffering. And if you truly want to live, you're going to have to build yourself up by using the power of your words, like God created life with the power of the word. Your words have power. And you owe it to yourself. I owe it to myself. We all owe it to ourselves to do better and be better so we can all make our worlds better. If you like the words that I have shared in this video, then by all means, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. God bless.